Good morning, it is Thursday. We're 4 weeks out from me racing my second marathon with 80 grams of carbs, 30 grams of protein, 165 grams of carbs, 23 grams of fats. Which is gonna be the Manchester Marathon. And we're practicing carb loading today and tomorrow. So Thursday and Friday before the long run on Saturday, because I've not really got my carb loading down to a T, and so we're gonna practice because we've got time to try it out and then implement any changes that are needed. So I'm running with my friend Izzy at 10:15. It's a beautiful sunny day and I'm about to have about 80 grams of carbs. We're gonna have 2 crumpets, we're gonna have jam and a small glass of juice. And then I will keep you guys updated with basically the rest of the day, because we are gonna be in total having over 700 grams of carbs, which is kind of scary. And you guys on Instagram told me that you wanted to see what I eat in a day. So I thought, let's do it on YouTube because we can talk a little bit more, because it's hard to kind of get all this into something for Instagram, you know? I'm sad that I'm not having my usual eggs, as Stone has just had, but we've got to do what we've got to do for marathon training, and we can't be having too much protein because it takes a lot longer to digest. And I'm very good at getting my protein in, but it's one thing that kind of holds me back because it sits in the gut a lot longer than carbs, which is why carbs are your best friend. That's 156 milliliters. So this is 15 grams of carbs. Okay, we've got 27 grams of jam. I think that's it. But yeah, this is 80 grams of carbs, and I'm having it at 9:53 before my 10:15 run, which maybe isn't ideal, but you can obviously see that this is a small quantity, but there's actually plenty of carbs in it. So this is meal number 1, and I will show you what I have for the post run. Just got back from the run with Izzy and it was so stunning. We chased the sun and did 10K in total, just under 11 actually. Izzy did 31, and then we got a coffee. I had Americano with almond milk and some honey. So we've already had some carbs there. I also got some water, which I need to drink some more of. I think I'm gonna put some with electrolytes. I think I'm gonna have these mixed berry ones. And then I'm also now gonna have some yogurt. I'm gonna have dates, skyr yogurt, dates, crumpets again, and some more juice. I might skip the juice actually, because I've already had some honey in the drink that I had, but we're gonna have some free salt electrolytes. And then this will take us to around 100, well, that'll be 155 grams of carbs and 25 grams of protein. And we'll be pretty high, we'll be at around like 235 grams of carbs for the day, and very minimal fat, and 30 grams of protein, which is kind of low for me, but we're trusting the process. I've not tried this flavor before, but I've had the free soul mango ones, mango and lime, and they are very salty. So I'm gonna shower, make my food, and then I'll show you it. My meeting got pushed back to 4:30, so we're gonna be doing that later. I'm just now writing up briefs for content tomorrow for the run, and I just grabbed my prep to lunch at the fridge. This is just some chopped up veg. We've got some peppers, cucumber, chicken, sweet potato, and this is about 30 grams of protein, and it's quite low calorie because, yeah, there's not mass in here, but there's some good nutrition, which is what we need. We're gonna have this, then we're gonna train, and then probably have some more carbs after. And then it's a busy day, it's a very busy day. But I'm just gonna carry on getting my work done. I'm about to go have a quick gym session, having 3 module dates, and that will be around 50 grams of carbs. I'm feeling tired, and I just know that I need a little break. Move the body, because I've been just sat down for so long. I just realised that these dates are from Module Village. That is cute. So far today, we've had about 300 grams of carbs, 4.4 grams of fat, 83 grams of protein and 1,550 calories and around 2 litres of water. So I need to have 2 more litres of water. And basically double the amount of carbs that I've already had. We're gonna be getting a lot in tonight's pasta dish. Maybe I should have one more of these in Jules. That's probably wise to keep this going. I don't want to like ruin my teeth. Okay, did my rehab and now I'm off to see a friend. So I'm just having a hot cross bun, which has got about 2 grams of fat and carbs. We're gonna put some jam because otherwise it's just kind of dry and I need to get gone. I'm gonna put a bit of Greek yogurt and then I'm meeting a friend, a bit of protein, a bit of carbs, and we're gonna be getting the majority of our protein later this evening. This is what we're working with. I've also had like 3 litres of water now and I'm gonna have this one before I get home. And I think this will take us to like about 400 grams of carbs today. I'm struggling with the 700 target if I'm honest, but that's why we practice. Evening, back from my evening with my friend and we're back in the kitchen. Ended up going to a Pilates reformer class, which was good rehab for the hips. So we had a kind of a double rehab session, but one was Pilates. But it was really nice. I've been cooking dinner and I think we're gonna approximately hit 700 grams of carbs. I've just made like a thing to put on the pasta because I've not actually got tomato passata. So in here, we have got mustard, lime juice, vinegar and soy sauce. So I'm gonna put that on the pasta. We've got some tender stem. The pasta's actually ready to plate up. That pasta is 153 grams of carbs. And then got some prawns. And then I do feel that it needs topping off. We're gonna use some of the chili and lime seasoning blend from Trader Joe's. That looks a bit better. It's gonna be like a tangy pasta. That's what I'm envisioning. And then I'm gonna put some salt on to finish. And that is 165 grams of carbs, 3.6 grams of fat, and 39 grams of protein. And then just because I am gonna clock off now, that's given paprika, cheesy goodness. We love that. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then dessert, just because I'm gonna show you it now because I wanna watch Bridgerton and just wind down, really enjoy myself. We have also had almost another one of these, so I think that toasts us to 3 litres after that. I'm gonna put some squash in this just to treat myself because I have been so thirsty. That's one thing, when you're carb loading, you need more water. And so I have this, probably, maybe I'll have a tea as well, just to really round off the night, but I need to make sure that I drink plenty of fluids because we're gonna be thirsty. Oat bowl, we've got 45 grams of oats, we've got 150 grams of berries, which is around 27 grams of carbs for the oats, 12 grams for the berries, and then I'm gonna put on 50 grams of skyr. You know what, I've almost had a whole thing of skyr. And then we're gonna have some honey, because I just think that'll really top it off. So it's probably about 70 grams of skyr. And then a healthy drizzle of honey, 21 grams, okay. And that, guys, let me just do the calculations. Here we have 157 grams of carbs, 3.6 grams of fat, and 38 grams of protein. Here we have 119 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fat, and 15 grams of schmaltine. You know what, I'm gonna put banana on it, because that will get us to 700, and we love banana. And that brings this bad boy to 141 grams of carbs, and the daily totals are in at 670 grams of carbs, which is 92% of the target that we aimed for. 13.3 grams of fat, which is kind of too low. I should add a bit of oil to this, but. And then protein, 144 grams, hitting that approximately 2 grams of protein per kg of body weight and 3,340 calories and a lot of water. And we're gonna go again for carb load day 2. If there's one thing that you should be doing when you're training for a marathon, it is fueling. And if you've historically not been great at your fueling like me, it's great to practice your fueling before the day so that it doesn't stress you out and that you feel that you actually are somewhat in control of what you're doing, because that's what this is all about. And I get a bit stressed when it comes to work, like, you know, achieving the marathon. It's such a big moment that you've worked so long for, and that is why I am taking this practice seriously and just following the coach's guidance, because it doesn't mean that this is what we have to do. And we aren't gonna, you know, gain loads of weight just from having 1 or 2 days carb loading. I've got a long run on Saturday, and ultimately the glycogen in the muscles will be building, and then it's gonna be depleted on Saturday. And hopefully the result is that my body feels strong and even more energized for the long run. And obviously your glycogen is what fuels your running. So that is what we're doing. We're building up the glycogen in the muscles. You will put on weight through it when you carb load, because the glycogen is stored in the muscles, and maybe some will be in your gut before you let it through. When you're doing a long run, you literally can't take on enough carbs to sustain a long run. So that is why we carb load, and that is why you have to also then take gels. But I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, or if you want me to do another one of these, do let me know. But I've got an exciting run in the morning. Good morning, guys. It is carb loading day number 2, and we've already not got off to a great start because we're about to get to a run club that I'm hosting with Bioma at a really cute local coffee shop, and I was in a bit of a rush this morning. Just got back in from the run. What a morning. Like, it's not even 10 a.m. and that has already happened. We need to eat. I might eat first. I need to rehydrate. I need to get this matted situation out. I went to the shop and picked up some more faye and some more crumpets. Crumpets, I've realised, are a great carb loader because they're mostly carbs. Like, they've barely got any fat. So that plus jam can get a lot of them in, get a lot of bang for your buck out of a crumpet. Likewise, and seasonally too, a hot cross bun, also very good, though more fats than a crumpet because there's butter in these, but still quite low. You know, you've got 1.4 grams. A bagel is also very good. This has 2.1 grams of fat, so a bit more than the crumpet and the hot cross bun. There's a lot more like butter and oil in a bagel apparently, or maybe it's just these New York ones. We've got sourdough. I need to check the macros on the sourdough. This one will have a significant amount of fats because it's got like all the seeds, but I do love a seeded sourdough, but not on a carb loading day. Other carbs, we've got Weetabix. I'm pretty sure these are good. Yeah, these have like barely any fat. They've got 26 grams of carbs and 0.8 grams of fat. That's pretty solid. Got a bit of fiber, so maybe. And then obviously if we're having the chocolate Weetabix, this has got a bit more fat, but it's actually still quite low. But I think this plus some banana plus some honey would be a really low carb, would be a really high carb, low fat brekkie. If you wanted to put some protein in, you could pour your protein shake over this. I personally can't wait to be back on my eggs, tomatoes, sourdough, avocado, because that is my favorite breakfast. But we're really committing to this carb load for 2 days, and then I don't need to do it again until we hit the marathon. So it's actually been so eye-opening because I didn't realize, like, not that, you know, we're demonizing fats, but I didn't realize how variable fats were within these products that I thought were carbs. And like honey has no fats. Might put a bit of the Free Soul Sculpt Hybrid Protein into this because I fancy a little bit more protein. I'm gonna measure this because this is all for the experiment that we're currently undertaking. You know what, I might put it into the yogurt rather than into that's probably a better idea. We're gonna combine a bit of fire with a bit of skyr. That's about 100 grams of Greek items. And then we're gonna put a bit of protein powder in. Okay, we put in 25 grams of the Free Soul Hybrid Sculpt Whey Protein, and that's 20 grams of protein plus 100 grams of this yogurt. So that is another 10 grams. So there's 30 grams of protein in here, 60 grams of oats, and then there's probably 200 grams of berries. So I'm gonna have to do the maths on, but I would say it's a very decent amount of carbs. And then I'm gonna put some honey on top. But when you're carb loading, one thing I've realized is that it's a lot easier to take your protein intake because you're eating so much. So you don't actually need to be putting as much effort into making sure that you're having enough protein. Because yeah, you don't wanna have too much protein either. Like, protein is obviously very filling. It's great for fat loss for that reason. But yeah, carb loading on the other hand, you don't wanna be so full, because being like extremely full, I mean, you're gonna be full anyway from the amount of carbs that you're having. So it's just not nice to be extremely full. I'm gonna put some honey on. I've actually been getting through honey at the rate of knots. But yeah, honey's got like no carbs. Okay, that is 22 grams of honey. This is the best breakfast ever. Truly what you need on a rainy day like today. Hello guys, I'm just getting ready. I need to do my skincare and I wanted to show you guys, but we just need a little snack because we're still carb loading, and I just put in some crumpets. So I'm gonna have them, and then I'm gonna have a proper lunch. Very shortly after, I want a savory crumpet. However, I'm thinking, how does one make these savory? I could do butter and honey. We're really behind on carbs today, you know. Okay, this is about 5 grams of butter and 2 crumpets. Cheers. Okay guys, I've just decided I'm gonna have food now and then do my makeup after with my skincare. So we've put 2 more crumpets in, and this is a chicken salad with sweet potato. I've put some wasabi paste in there, and it's got some nutrition. So let me top this up as to how many carbs we're having here. Just finished the nutrition, the salad, and now we have got 4 more crumpets, and this will take the salad plus the 6 crumpets. Lunch total is 195 carbs, 9.5 grams of fat, which I didn't realise how much fat was in the lab pack. A bit higher than I would have hoped. And 61.7 grams of protein, 1,085 calories. So to be honest, we're doing well over on protein. So we're smashing it, and I put some salt on this to make it a little bit more savory. Let's start with the honey one first, but I'm just gonna have this, and then I'm gonna carry on getting some work done. Also, I've been drinking so much water. I've got the Free Soul Peach Greens in here because I just feel that it's making me feel better that I'm having a bit more nutrition than normal, because I generally eat such a whole food diet with loads of plants, and this is very not me. So we've got this to just keep me feeling good. I've got a Free Soul code, I'll put it on the screen. I'm gonna get some work done, and then we're gonna do skincare and makeup, because me and Sona have like a little date later. You guys are gonna think I'm eating an insane amount of crumpets, and that is because I am eating an insane amount of crumpets. We're about to have 2 crumpets and honey. I'm gonna bring another banana with me and have that before dinner, and then I'm gonna have dinner, and then I will have a few dates for dessert. Gosh, I'm gonna turn into a crumpet after this. You know what? Salt and honey. Don't knock it until you've tried it. So we've got 2 crumpets, 20 grams of honey, and 100 grams of banana. I've already eaten the remainder, a little bit of salt on top as well. And the 2 crumpets is around 40 grams of carbs. The honey is 15 grams of carbs. The banana is 23 grams of carbs. And this in total is 78 grams of carbs, half a gram of fat, and 5 grams of protein. And today so far then, we will have had 355 grams of carbs, 23 grams of fats, and 105 grams of protein. And I'll be taking another banana with me and getting on with more work. Had that, we're now off. I've drank so much liquid today. Actually, 2.5 litres of fluid so far. And then I'm gonna bring this, so that will take us up to 4 litres by the time I finish this. So work, drink this, maybe eat this, and then I'm gonna be back for dinner at 6:30. Just went to leave, and look what I found at the front door. I didn't realise someone even had dropped it off. Me getting sidetracked, but it needs to go in the fridge. We've got some My Protein Muller mixers and a cool bag, which is pretty fancy. These remind me of my childhood. I'm excited to try them, but maybe I'll have one of these after tomorrow. Also, I don't know what's wrong with me. Don't know if it's because I'm tired, I don't know if it's this carb loading situation, but I feel so cold. And I would have imagined it would be the opposite, but I don't know if it's because I'm having like high carbs, low fats. Like I feel freezing. I know that having low fats isn't good for women generally, but doing it for like 2 days for carb loading is absolutely fine, absolutely safe. It's not something, this is not a diet that I am promoting to be taken long term for multiple days at a time. Like you don't carb load for that many days, you just do it like a couple of days. And then yeah, you go back to normal eating afterwards. But this is a test for the marathon, like I said, and it's just interesting because you'd think if you've got so many calories going through your system, you'd be so warm, but I am like freezing. So 730 grams of carbs consumed per day over 2 days, and that is the carb loading test completed. I was so shocked at how the little mini experiment went. As someone that has ran for so long and done a marathon before, done so many races before, but never really taken carb loading properly seriously, it really opened my eyes. And the main thing was that it felt controlled and that I got the data from it, because data just makes all the difference, because then you can like make clear judgments and clear analysis on like what really happened. But I had 730 grams of carbs per day over 2 days. I kept my protein at around 2 grams per kg of body weight, so 140 grams ish. And then I kept fat low. And that was my main initial eye opener, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But like the result of it all was that the 30k long run felt so good, felt so strong and well fueled, and I was really able to push myself through the 5k blocks I had, and I hit every pace throughout. And obviously I was already practicing my carb strategy during the run, but this was the first time that I'd really carb loaded for a long run. And I did the whole run solo, which I haven't done in the longest time. And it was a mini race day test almost. Like I wrote some motivational words and words of purpose on my hand. I was quite reflective the night before. I obviously took my gels on the run as well, every 25 minutes. I had around 60 grams of carbs per hour, which I'm really good at doing now. I took some water as well. It made the biggest difference. Also even created like a playlist for it, which kept me going. But the main learnings were that as someone that maybe doesn't start eating loads of carbs super early, I'm someone that definitely starts the day with a more low carb, high protein breakfast. And then my lunch even was also typically very low carb, like a salad with a bit of sweet potato and chicken. And then my dinners were also fairly low carb too in the past. And it would be more the snacks I'd have throughout the day that would be higher carb, or what I'd have pre-training, which would be like a bagel and banana and honey. But it was a big shift. Firstly, I wasn't eating half as many eggs as I was used to eating. Because obviously when you're eating that amount of carbs, you don't really have as much space in the stomach to have so much volume. So the timings were eye-opening, and I ate late on both nights. I didn't really think about the timing throughout the day. And on the first day it got to lunch and I wasn't even halfway through the amount. And I thought, you know what, I am gonna really commit to having this full amount, because I want to like really feel it and learn it, and maybe I won't do it perfect, and maybe, you know, it might impact my sleep a little bit, but I just want to make sure that I'm like sticking to what I said I would do. So yeah, I ate too late on both nights, which impacted my sleep then, and I wasn't able to hydrate enough post the late night carbs for the following day. So yeah, I was waking up maybe not with my best foot forward, but I'd still had the carbs, and like I said, I still smashed my run. But yeah, I was like finishing my days at like 9 p.m, which was just way too late. And from now, I'm committing to finishing my carbs at 6:30, 7 at the latest. And because I do go to bed quite early and I need to get better at this. It was just kind of a coincidence that I was up so late on those 2 nights. But you know what? Maybe you guys caught me red-handed, because I can be bad towards the end of the week with staying up later. So that is one thing that I really want to like lock down on in these next 18 days leading up to the marathon. So we're going to be getting into bed a lot earlier. Anyway, the plan over the next 18 days is that we're going to be finishing our food by 7 p.m. Last meal, like 6:30, then we can get into bed with the rice pudding, have that, read the book, wind down, and then hydrate whilst I read for the next hour and a half, and then go to sleep early, because that is something that I've not been the best at. So you guys keep me accountable on that one. And also it will mean that we need to get more carbs in earlier in the day when we do end up carb loading for the race. So we'll give that one a second go. But I was tracking everything on my Whoop, and I was like writing everything down, like how I was feeling. I've got my Garmin data as well to show that I did like hit my pace on my runs. But yeah, my Whoop was showing like yellow recovery, elevated heart rate, disrupted sleep. And that was because I was still like my body was still digesting when I was trying to sleep. But yeah, the Whoop data honestly was so helpful. And if you guys want to try out Whoop, I'll put my 1 month free link below, because I've had this for 3 years now and I use it so much. Like the data is just so helpful, and it gives you a lot of like learnings, like looking at how my resting heart rate is, my HRV, and the journal feature as well helps a lot. Though I do like to still journal myself and write down my thoughts of like how things are going, and that is also really helpful too. But it does help you log like key habits like late night eating and how much water you drink, and maybe you can even like track calories and stuff as well. So carb loading worked, but yeah, for marathon race week I'll be doing the exact same. So 730 grams of carbs per day, low fat, and finishing eating by 6:30 strictly, especially when it's training and when it's taper week. And I'm very excited to see how it impacts like come race day. I'm so confident it will, because I just felt like a different person. So yeah, the high carbs, low fat, great performance. So very successful experiment, lessons learned, and I'm ready to do it properly for the Manchester Marathon, which is in less than 3 weeks, 18 days time. And I'll be keeping you guys updated. I would definitely stick to the foods that I had there. I'm keen to try out Marmite, because that's a good like savory spread to put on toast, because I felt like I was eating a lot of sugary things that were not making my teeth feel too great. So I want to try focus a bit more on the starchy carbs moving forward, especially towards the later in the day. It's all right in the morning, but yeah, the high sugar late in the day is just not the one really. So I want to focus more on the starchy carbs, obviously having the sugary carbs around training sessions, because they're the ones that like are fast digesting, but we'll shift the focus to more starchy. So yeah, that is in total the reflections. I really enjoyed it, and I'm so proud of how I ran on Saturday, and I'm very excited to keep you guys in the loop with the rest of my training over the next 18 days. And please do like and subscribe, because there'll be a lot more marathon training content coming your way, because this is literally my life now over the next 18 days, and I'm very excited for it. And I can't wait to take you guys on this like final journey of the taper, because it is just the best. So have a great week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.